everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today to hear all about the Pacific Northwest and Canadian Rockies. I want to introduce myself. My name is Brittany Spotton, and I'll be here throughout the whole presentation to go over all these great packages that we have to offer. A little bit later, I am going to introduce our guest speaker, and I'm so excited because at the end of this presentation, one lucky person is going to win a $100 Amtrak vacation gift card, and stay tuned because we do have really great discounts to go over as well. So let's get jumping right into this. Why Amtrak vacations? So first off, it is a bucket list trip. So you will get to see beautiful sights that you can't see by plane or by car. Room to roam, stretch, go to the observation car. You're not confined to your chair, so you can go around to the dining car and the snack car, so it's really convenient, not like a plane. Less hassle, leave it to us. We will book the hotels, the tours, and the transportation and make it really convenient for you. City-to-city service, so we bring you right into the heart of the city. So we will pick you up from your hometown and bring you to the popular sites and attractions. Satisfy your hunger. So we do have chef-prepared meals on board Amtrak, so some really fabulous stuff that I'll talk about a little bit later. Flexibility, daily departures, and we do customize all our vacation packages. So really cool stuff, guys, because we have tons of places all over the United States that you can go to. So I love to pull up this map because this is all the routes that we have on Amtrak vacations. And a really fun fact is 31.2 million people travel on Amtrak from all over. So that's pretty amazing, all over the United States, and people coming from out of the state to go all over California and Texas, etc. Some really cool places. So did you know? So we have over 500 Amtrak stations. So what can happen is you can start your trip. We can fly you, and then you can start your package, or you can take the train and you can fly home. So there's so many possibilities for you to go on your Amtrak vacation, and we can do whatever is going to work best to fit what you'd like to do. So products. So I'd love to talk about the different products that we have to offer. And I'm going to first start off and talk about our independent journeys. So these are multi-city trips with the train included. You're going to go to multi-destinations, rails included in between the cities, and we also include tours and dinners and make it just an all-fun, inclusive trip for you. We also have family adventures. So these are perfect for multi-generational families. They're also based for kid-friendly adventures, so really cool things there. Rail and sail. So these are going to be the rail from Chicago, and you get to experience the Empire Builder for 2 nights, stay in Seattle, and then board your Alaskan cruise. So we can pick you up wherever home is at and take you on the train to your cruise. Rail getaways. This is if you guys want to do like a short trip, if you have like a weekend time frame. We can do a short getaway of 2 to 3 nights, and then we can add on the train from your hometown. National parks, I can't leave these out because these are our most popular and famous packages. So really good sellers right here, and we do all different kinds of national parks, whether it's Glacier, Grand Canyon, all over the place. So speaking of our awesome packages, let's roll right into one of those packages. And this is the Seattle Ultimate Getaway. One of my favorite cities, the Emerald City as some call it, is truly magical and unique. One of the most popular sites is the Space Needle, which was built in 1962 for the World's Fair. The city is also home to tons of artists like Jimi Hendrix and lots more. Even though you're in a city, the majestic Mount Rainier is close by where you can go hiking and camping, and it's just a little bit outside the city. So this is just a really true, unique, and magical place. So while you're in Seattle, Pike's Place Market is really one of those places that is a must-go and you want to stop by. It opened in 1907 and is one of the oldest public farmer markets in the United States. It does overlook Elliott Bay, And it's about 3 stories of just antique shops, lots of food and different little trinkets that you can get. So really a fun place to check out. Also, Seattle is the birthplace of Starbucks. And if you're a collector of those Starbucks mugs, you can get a really unique one at the original Starbucks in Pike's Place Market, which first opened in 1971. So definitely a place to check out. So with that Seattle Ultimate Getaway, it's going to include 3 nights hotel accommodation, which is right city center. So all these hotels are going to be right city center for you. So you're going to be easy to get around to all the popular attractions. And talking about the City Pass, I have to say, this is my favorite City Pass in Seattle because Chihuly and Garden and Glass is combined with the City Pass, and this is a must-see. It is absolutely amazing. The City Pass also includes a Space Needle, aquarium, which is right on the water, harbor cruise, and the EMP Museum for all those music lovers out there. The Hop On, Hop Off is actually going to get you around to where all the City Pass attractions are. And it includes a really awesome guide that tells you everything that Seattle has to offer. So really cool package right here. Keep in mind, everyone, that we can add the rail from where home is to make this Seattle Ultimate Getaway the whole complete package for you. Another popular package that we have is our Pacific Northwest. So this is really awesome, and this is an example of our independent package, multi-city, and the rail is between. So it starts in San Francisco. So let's jump into San Francisco and see what that has to offer. So San Francisco, there is so much to do. Whether you walk across the Golden Gate Bridge, have some amazing seafood at Fisherman's Wharf, ride the iconic cable car, venture down Lombard Street, have some amazing chocolate at Ghirardelli Square. You can tell I love San Francisco. And in our package is the Muir Woods tour. This is awesome because it's an enchanting world of coastal redwoods dating back 800 to 1,000 years old. So this is such a cool experience. We also give you guys the Hop On, Hop Off. And so by this will be your transportation to get around. And of course, we have to include a seafood dinner for you guys. And so we include dinner at Swiss Louise Italian Restaurant, and it's on Pier 39. So serving up some really good seafood as well. So what you guys are going to do is board the Coast Starlight, and you're going to take it up to Portland, Oregon. And while you're in Portland, Oregon, we'll include the Hop On, Hop Off. So this is getting you to popular places like Washington Park, Chinese Garden, the Rail Museum, and 2 stops near the world-famous Voodoo Donuts. Fun and narrative guides are telling you all the popular sites and secrets of Portland. We then include a dinner cruise on the Willamette River, which has been a highlight for many customers. The food is fantastic, and the river cruise along the water of Portland is just truly a magical experience. You're then going to board the Coast Starlight, and you're going to head up to that Emerald City. And when you're at the Emerald City, you're going to be doing a guided city tour. And this is going to take you to Pike's Place, Pioneer Square, Space Needle, and so much more. So sit back and relax while your guide shows you all Seattle has to offer. So this is just a recap of our Pacific Northwest package. Again, it's 6-night hotel accommodation. You do have 1 night on board Amtrak and coach accommodations. 2 meals are included, and then all these awesome tours. So this is one of my favorite pictures. This is the Painted Ladies in San Francisco. It's just such a cool place of all the Victorian homes. You can just set the part right there, have a picnic, and really just enjoy San Francisco. Now, for people wanting to cross the border and go into Canada, we have some great packages. And this is our Seattle, Vancouver, and Victoria rail journey. So really fantastic journey, and it starts off in Seattle. And we are going to give you the Space Needle, Chihuly, Garden, and Glass. Now, Dale Chihuly, his art is inspiring. And my favorite part is the glass house, which is a 40-foot glass structure with beautiful flowers floating on the ceiling. It is a must-see. Get your cameras ready. We also offer the hop-on, hop-off. And so again, this is going to get you to all those famous attractions. So after your night stay there, you guys are going to board the Amtrak Cascades, and this is going to take you up to Vancouver. And while you're in Vancouver, you have your hop-on, hop-off, which is going to take you to popular places like Stanley Park, Chinatown, and North Shore. We also include admission to the Capilano Suspension Bridge, and this is the most popular attraction. It includes the suspension bridge, the cliff walk, and the treetop adventure. You get to be one with nature, and it's absolutely amazing. After your stay in Vancouver, you guys are going to take a ferry over to Victoria, my favorite place. A grand tradition of over a century, the Fairmont Empress has served England's most beloved afternoon tea, indulging in cakes, scones, teas. You get to feel like you're royalty. The hop-on, hop-off is actually one of the stops at the Fairmont Empress. And it also stops at Craigridge Castle, which is another just amazing place. Don't forget Bouchard Gardens. Beautiful gardens of roses and fountains. It is absolutely amazing. And don't forget, along with the royal and the fairy tale theme of Victoria, take a horse and carriage ride. I did when I was in Victoria, and it really just made my trip an awesome journey to remember. So again, recapping the Seattle, Vancouver, and Victoria package, it's 6 nights hotel accommodation, one-way aboard Amtrak Cascades to get you up to Vancouver, the ferry over to Victoria, and all these awesome tours that we have to offer. So really cool stuff, everyone. We're going to jump right into our cruises, and we have some awesome rail and sail programs with our Norwegian Cruise Lines going to Alaska. So what is our rail and sail? So our rail and sail is going to start in Chicago, and then you're going to board the Empire Builder, where you're going to take 2 nights on the Empire Builder to Seattle. And then you're going to spend 1 night in Seattle, where you enjoy a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing trolley tour. You wake up the next morning, and we have private transfers included for you to board your cruise ship. And when you board your cruise ship, you guys are going to start in the wonderful place of Ketchikan. So in Ketchikan, this is facing the Inside Passage, and it is known for its many Native American totem poles, glacier carvings of the wilderness, and salmon swimming upstream. Now I have to stop right here, because seeing salmon swim upstream and the bears catching them is just honestly out of this world. It is really one of those sites where you can't see anywhere else, and it's really just a cool part of your trip. So Ketchikan is just a really unique place, really nice fish town. Again, you're going to have some awesome food. And then you're going to venture on to Juneau. So Juneau is known as Alaska's peak experience due to the amazing glacier viewing. I always recommend, if they're available, a balcony room on the cruise, because in the glacier part, it's so quiet, and you can just hear the glaciers dropping into the water, and it is absolutely breathtaking. And if you're lucky, you might see some whales while you're there as well. In Skagway, you get a step back in time, step back to the gold rush days, where back in 1896, the city grew to 20,000 gold seekers, venturing off on to excursions to find what they're looking for. And one of those excursions that you can take is the White Path Railway while you're there. So this is really cool, makes you feel like you're back in time. The cruise is then going to go to Victoria. Again, you guys know it's my favorite place. So again, take a carriage ride, go through the enchanting city, and again, take the Bouchard Garden tour. It is really magical. So again, just to recap, this cruise is the Norwegian Cruise 7-day Sawyer Glacier Cruise, 1-night hotel accommodation Seattle, 2 nights aboard Amtrak and coach accommodations, hop on, hop off in Seattle, private transfers to and from the cruise port, and then all those fabulous places I talked about that the cruise is going to take you to. So this was, speaking of all the Pacific Northwest, I have this awesome guest speaker with me that just did a Canadian trip. So who better to talk about our Canadian Rockies trip? So I'm going to introduce you guys to Kyle Smith.
Thank you, Brittany, for that introduction. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. It is an honor for me to be with you to go through our Canadian Rockies packages because, like Brittany said, I just got back from a trip through Canada, and this was a phenomenal trip for me. It was definitely a bucket list experience and a trip that I will never forget. So I am so excited to be able to share with you my adventure and tell you a little bit about our Canadian Rockies packages. So one of our most popular Canadian Rockies packages we have is this adventure package called the Canadian Rockies Adventure. And this package will begin in Vancouver. So while in Vancouver, you will arrive in Vancouver to start this package. And now what we can do for you guys is we can put you on the Amtrak train right into Vancouver from wherever home is for you. So we can take care of those traveling logistics for you. Or if you prefer to fly to Vancouver, the choice is entirely up to you. But while in Vancouver, you will have some downtime before the train leaves. So I would encourage you, while you're in town, to go walk around the city. It's a phenomenal city. And a little fun fact about Vancouver is it is ranked as the 10th most cleanest city in the world, and you will definitely see why while you're visiting. So on your first day, when the trip commences in Vancouver, you will board the Via Rail for your overnight trip into Jasper. So this is me here on the left, sitting in the dining car at breakfast the following morning, the day I arrived in Jasper. So you can see a little bit of the scenery off my right shoulder here, and this is what you're seeing all the way. And I'm sitting in the dining car having breakfast, and so it is a fun adventure going into Jasper. Now, while you're in Jasper, you are going to have a 3-night stay at one of our hotels. And while you're in town, you will see a sightseeing tour of the Columbia ice fields and the parkway with the Glacier Skywalk. Now, Jasper is a phenomenal town. You're there 3 nights. We obviously include activities for you. However, you do have some free time while you're there in between the activities. So I would definitely encourage you to walk around the town, get to know the people. The locals there are so friendly. I was walking to a restaurant, trying to look for a particular restaurant I was wanting, and I asked a random person in the street, and that person was more than happy to to help me out. He wanted to know where I was from and the reasons for my visit. He was very friendly, and I noticed that to be the case among most people on this trip. So definitely get to know the locals. Okay, so after Jasper, your 3-night stay, this is just the overview of the Canadian Rockies Adventure. 5 days, 2-night hotel accommodations, Via Rail with all the different activities that we have been talking about. Now, our second most popular package for Canadian Rockies is our Discovery package, eastbound with Seattle. So this particular package includes a 1-night stay in Seattle, and that is the starting point. So we can get you on the Amtrak to Seattle, or if you want to make your own way by flying or even driving, you can certainly do that before you begin your adventure through Canada. Okay, so while you have a 1-night stay in Seattle to start the trip, and during that 1-night stay, you'll have admission to the Space Needle and the Chihuly Garden and Glass exhibit. And I agree with Brittany; those are 2 great attractions that you're not going to want to miss. But also, too, you have a lot of free time, so you can go around the town, you can go shopping, walk around, get a feel for the town before you board the Via Rail, or excuse me, before you board the train heading up into Canada. So the next day, you're going to board the Amtrak Cascades up into Vancouver. And while you're in town, you are going to have a hop-on, hop-off tour, which is going to go all around Vancouver, and you are going to learn a lot about the history, and you can jump on and jump off anywhere you'd like. And you're also going to have access to the Vancouver Lookout, which is a revolving restaurant that goes up about 800 feet or so. and you can go up there. You'll get a full 360-degree view of the city. They have a wonderful restaurant up there. You can order appetizers or drinks and just enjoy your time and get a full view of the city while you're there. Okay, so the next part of your trip is going to go over to Victoria. And this will be a day trip, and this package includes the transfers from Vancouver over to Victoria. And you will participate in the afternoon tea at the Fairmont Impress. And like Brittany said earlier, if you really want to experience what it's like to be royalty and have that experience, you're definitely going to want to do the tea at the Fairmont Impress. The staff there is so friendly, and they really go out of your way to make you feel special. And a little fun fact about the tea at the Fairmont Impress is that they serve over 550,000 cups of tea each year. Very exciting. So after Victoria, you're going to come back into Vancouver for your last night, and then you are going to board the Via Rail for your overnight journey to Jasper. And when you arrive in Jasper, you are going to have a tour of the Jasper National Park. Okay, so the next part of this package is the absolute favorite, and this is why people book this trip with us, is through to participate going through the Canadian Rockies. So you're going to wake up in Jasper on this day, and we're going to provide a transfer for you that's going to pick you up at your hotel, and they are going to drive you directly into Banff, but first you're going to go through the Canadian Rockies. And this is one of the most scenic routes in all of Canada. So while you're en route to Banff, you are going to see the Icefields Parkway, and you're also going to be able to go on the Glacier Explorers. So you get to go out there on the glacier, and there's a nice, awesome vehicle that's going to take you out there. You get to spend some time standing on an actual glacier, as well as admission to the Glacier Skywalk. Now, when you're from Jasper down into Banff, it's about a 4-hour drive. So en route, while you're seeing the ice fields, the driver is going to go ahead and pull over like every hour or so, and you're going to be able to get off the transfer, spend some time there on the side of the road, catching the scenery there, and that's what we're doing here in this photo as we make our way into Banff. So while in Banff, you are going to have a 2-night stay in this wonderful town. And the activities we have for you are going to be the mountains, lakes, and the waterfalls tour. Now, this is fun. This is where you get to see Lake Louise, which is probably the most popular scenic route while you're headed through Canada into Banff. So you're going to get to see Lake Louise as well as all the other waterfalls and tours, so definitely be bringing your cameras. So you're going to spend 2 nights in Banff. And this is a small town, so a 2-night stay is plenty to make it feel like you've seen the town. In between your activities, feel free to walk up and down the main street. You're going to see a lot of older homes and older buildings. The people are very friendly, and you're going to be surrounded by beautiful mountain majestic landscaping. Now, after your time in Banff, you are going to be picked up at your hotel, and you're going to be driven over to Calgary for a 1-night stay. And then the following day, you are going to check out, and you will then fly home, completing your trip. So just as a quick recap of our Canadian Rockies discovery, it's 11 days, 9 nights hotel accommodations, via rail from Vancouver to Jasper, and all the different activities that we've shared with you. Now, another popular package that we have here is our Ultimate Canada and Rockies Westbound. And this is a very popular package because it's going to take you all the way across Canada. The package starts in Toronto, and we can get you there on Amtrak from wherever you're coming from, or if you wanted to fly. But your trip will begin in Toronto with a 2-night stay. And Toronto is a fun town. You know, the Toronto Film Festival is held there every year. So it's a well-known town, very busy. And while you're there, you'll have a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour and admission to the CN Tower. But that's not all. On your second day on this trip, you are going to see a full-day tour of Niagara Falls. So you're going to get picked up, and you're going to be driven out over to Niagara Falls. And you won't want to miss this. This is definitely a highlight. And while you're touring the falls, you're going to be on a sightseeing city tour as well as participating in the Niagara on the Lake. After the day trip to Niagara, you're going to head back to Toronto for your last night, And then the following day, you are going to board the Via Rail going across Canada to Jasper, and that's a 3-night journey through Canada. Very, very scenic. The time will fly. And when you arrive in Jasper, we are going to have a 3-night stay for you guys. And while you're there, you're going to tour Jasper National Park. You're going to have admission to the Jasper Skytram, as well as the sightseeing tour of the ice fields that we talked about earlier, and admission to the Glacier Skywalk and the Glacier Discovery Center. Now, after while you're in Jasper, you're going to be heading down into Banff, and that transfer is going to pick you up, take you all the way in. You're going to go through the ice fields and see Lake Louise and all that scenery again, and you're going to have a 1-night stay in Banff. And then after your 1 night there, you are going to be driven back to Jasper for an additional night. The following day, you are going to board the Via Rail for the overnight trip into Vancouver. And when you arrive in Vancouver, you are going to have a 2-night stay at one of our hotels, and as well as your activities, a hop-on, hop-off tour, admission to the Capilano Suspension Bridge. And that's the photo you see to the right. That's me standing in front of it. And this is a fun attraction. This is what Vancouver is known for. So the Capilano Suspension Bridge it's about 250, maybe 300 if I'm not mistaken, up in the air, and it overlooks the mountains as well as a river that'll be directly below you. And when you're walking out on the suspension bridge, you really get a sense of how high it really is. Now, I would also like to encourage you to make sure that you bring your binoculars. While I was out there, I saw a bald eagle sitting on a tree, which, now I'm from California. I don't see bald eagles every single day, so I about jumped over the bridge in excitement to be able to see that. But I was also informed that that's very common. So bring your binoculars because you won't want to miss that. They are beautiful birds. And then the Capilano Suspension Bridge also has the cliff walks and the treetops walking adventure, and that is just directly beyond the bridge there that you see. We also include admission to the Vancouver Lookout, and that'll be your time spent there in Vancouver. So this is just the recap of the Ultimate Canada and Rockies Westbound, 14 days, 8-night hotel accommodations, Via Rail all the way across Canada, and all the different activities that we have been talking about. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn the microphone back over to Brittany, and she is going to share with you the onboard accommodations on Amtrak.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Kyle. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited to go to Canada. There's just so many beautiful places to see, and his trip looked amazing. So great job, Kyle. And what I want to talk about is the onboard accommodations on Amtrak. So first off, I like to start with this picture because it shows a lot of the observation deck, and that is the most popular place for people to hang out. You're playing cards, you're socializing, you're talking to people. It's really nice. No one's driving and being stressed out of, we're lost, where are we going? You can just sit back and really enjoy time with your husband or time with your children. So really kind of cool, and this is what makes the whole Amtrak experience. So let's talk about the different accommodations. And first off is our coach accommodations, which is our most common and most popular. So now coach is not like an airplane. You don't have to feel confined. You can get up and go to the dining car, observation car, cafe car. There's definitely room to roam. And keep in mind, everyone, that you can spend the night in coach accommodations. The chairs do recline at a 45-degree angle, and they are quite comfy with the footrest and the big seats that you can just sleep in. So really good there. Let's say you want your own private room. We do have our level classes of private rooms, and our first level is a roomette. In a roomette, you'll notice there's a big picture window, chairs during the day, and bunk beds at night. A great added bonus is all meals are included while you're in a roomette. And your shower and your bathroom is just down the hall, shared in that train car. So really nice experience for people traveling that want a private room. The next level of the private room that we have is called a bedroom. Similar to a roomette, but it's bigger, and it has a private bathroom and shower inside. So just keep that in mind. It's a bigger room, but private bathroom and shower inside. Meals are included, though, just like a roomette, so great added bonus right there. We also have some great accommodations. We have family bedrooms for 2 adults and 2 children, and we do have accessible rooms as well. So we have a room for comfort for anyone looking to go on an Amtrak vacation. And everyone's favorite part, dining on the train. So you heard me mention before, we do have a chef that prepares meals on board the train. And so you're going to be experiencing for breakfast waffles and pancakes, for lunch pastas or salads, and for dinner the famous steak or a hamburger. And for the sweet lovers out there, they do dessert as well. So this is just a really fun experience where you get to socialize and mingle with some other people on board the train while they're going on their Amtrak vacation. Now this was just a small sample that Kyle and I went over today of the packages that we have to offer. So if you get a chance, definitely check out AmtrakVacations.com. Under destinations, you'll be able to see all the itineraries that we have and all the over 300 locations that we go to. So definitely go ahead and check that out. So how do you book an Amtrak vacation? Well, you can give us a call, 1-800-AMTRAK-2. And any one of the agents would love to help you plan your trip, and they can customize your trip of where you're coming from. So keep that in mind. You can also go to our website, AmtrakVacations.com, or you can visit your local travel agent by calling them or going inside their office. Now, everyday discounts. So we have a couple discounts here that are off the Amtrak rail portion of your trip. AAA, 10% off. Children ages 2 through 12 receive 50% off. Seniors over the age of 62, 15% off. And military, active duty military personnel, 10% off the Amtrak rail portion of your trip. Now this is my favorite part of the presentation because I get to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to this presentation and offer you an exclusive discount for attending the webinar. And this is so awesome. So upgrade to a sleeping accommodation on any, let me repeat that, any rail vacation package, and you will receive $100 off. So $50 off per couple. But don't wait to book this because it's good until November 23rd, and we have already had people calling in and using their discount. Super excited to use it on any package. So again, $100 off per couple. So really good stuff, everyone. Now, I know that Kyle and I talked about a lot of information on today's presentation, so keep in mind on the right-hand side of this PowerPoint, don't forget to download your handout. It's also going to have the code for the discount of the $100 off. And if you have any questions, feel free to input your questions in the question box, and we will be happy to provide you with an answer. We already see some really great questions going here that we're going to answer in just a second. So on to the grand winner of the $100 gift card. Really my favorite part of the presentation because we're ready to announce our winner. And I'm going to have Kyle announce our $100 Amtrak Vacations gift card winner is...
And that's going to be Sue Cavallani.
Oh, congratulations, Sue. So we're going to now open it up to the questions that we have. So it looks like, Sue, you actually had a question already, so that's fantastic. Great news there. So can you take a trip from Sacramento?
Absolutely. Sacramento is one of our destinations for the train. And if you are heading up into Canada, Vancouver, you can easily get on the train in Sacramento for your trip north or any one of our other vacation destinations. Absolutely.
All right. So we have a question from Donna. Do you need a passport?
Yes, you do. You are going into Canada, so you will need a current and valid passport.
Okay. We have a question from Rebecca. Do you have sleeping accommodations? And we did go over the sleeping accommodations, Rebecca, on Amtrak, but I'm going to have Kyle talk about the sleeping accommodations on Via Rail because he talked about all those awesome Canadian packages.
Absolutely, Rebecca. We certainly do have sleeping accommodations not only on Amtrak but also on the Via Rail. So if you are going to be looking into like the Ultimate Canada package, for example, That package does come with train already, but what you would do is you give us a call at Amtrak Vacations and inform the travel consultant there that you are looking to upgrade to a sleeping car, and they would be happy to do that for you.
Alrighty. Okay, so we have a question from Dorothy. Can you upgrade to roomettes and bedrooms on the rail and sail? Because it starts in coach, but Dorothy, you definitely can upgrade to a roomette or bedroom accommodation, and you can just give us a call and we can see what's available and what that price would be for the upgrade for the rail and sail. We have a question from Stephanie. Does the hop-on, hop-off have wheelchair accommodation?
Yes, it does, Stephanie. Most of our tours are handicap accessible, so no problem there for you whatsoever.
Okay, perfect. We have a question from Donna. Can you take the train from New York City to Vancouver?
Great question, Donna. The answer is yes. You can easily get on the train in New York City for your journey across America, all the way into Vancouver. Absolutely.
Oh, righty. And we have a great question of, we get this a lot. What if my clients, they don't fly, so how are we going to get them from all these different places? And this is a great question because we can pick up anyone from any destination with the train. Again, there's over 500 different Amtrak stations, so we can start wherever, and we can even go up into our Canadian packages, add the Via Rail on, and then take Via Rail back to your destination. So we definitely have accommodation for that. So all really good questions here. We also have a question. Can you use a passport card?
I believe you can. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe you can. It would be a good idea to have an actual passport just because you are heading into Canada.
Yeah, you can have a passport card. You also can have enhanced driver's license as well to get over to like Vancouver and Niagara Falls. So that's a great question because you can do that. So it looks like this is all the time that we have for today. There's awesome questions, everyone. I just want to take the time and thank you again for attending the webinar. We really appreciate you guys listening in, and we hope you have a fantastic night. Thanks again.